to be joining in here. So let's get this started. Never give up. Boys don't cry. Girls cannot be entrepreneurs. Getting good grades in school is the only way to succeed in life. Boys should be engineers while girls doctors. Failed in school, failed in life. All of this and so much more, isn't it? Have we ever tried to question what has been taught to us since eon? Or are we really meant to just accept the things the way they are just because they are into existence? Or is it time for us to pause and reset the way we think? Hi everyone, this is Shrishti Sharma. I'm a serial entrepreneur and a social activist. Really honored and humbled to be awarded with various titles in the field of entrepreneurship, business management, and leadership. What the funny part is, whenever I'm introduced, people usually talk about the awards, the achievements, and all the good stuff that really validates the idea of society perspective as to what success is or should be. We don't talk about the failures. We don't talk about the fears, the doubts, and most importantly, hey, what if I fail? So today I'm going to talk about millions of failures that I have gone through and still stubborn here, really proud to be sharing my journey with all of you here. Story number one. So I was around 15 years old. I was in high school and I was made to believe that getting good grades in school is the only way to succeed in life. As a kid, I accepted the belief without really questioning it. And soon my dream, or I would say the pressurized dream for me, was to secure a seat for myself into India's best engineering college. And I'm sure all the school students can really vouch for it as to what the pressure is. And when I say I worked hard, I worked really hard. 2 years, more than 750 days, I guess. 18 hours of studying in a day. No friends, no Facebook, no social media, no distraction. Just a bookworm who was engrossed into her books. There were days when I had no idea what date or day it was. Cut to, let's get to the results, the day, when the results were there, and just imagine what happened. I failed. I I was not even able to clear, the very minimum marks that were needed to actually qualify the exam, forget getting an admission into that college. Looking back retrospectively at that failure, it looks like a very small failure. But if I have to imagine myself into a shoe of, say, a 16, 17-year-old kid, most of the audience here can relate to it. It was devastating, no kind of words or feeling can actually tell you how I felt at that point of time. And I won't lie, I felt suicidal. Story number two. So I somehow gathered whatever little strength was left in me, and I really wanted to compensate for the recent failure that I've had. So I tried my hands on modeling. Yes, from being somebody, and it's very hard to believe, from being somebody who knew nothing about books, who was at Chashme Studios Kids, here I was wanting to explore a complete different glamorous world, being an outsider. I had the goal very clear in mind because now I had the pressure. I wanted to compensate for the recent failure I've had. And now the goal was clear that I want to win the most renowned beauty pageant of the nation. I definitely don't want to name it, but this is what the goal was. And when I say I work hard, I really worked hard. From being somebody who just wore sneakers and shoes, here I was teaching myself how to walk the ramp into 7 inches of heel. From being a complete foodie to going out and losing out 16 kgs just to fit into what typically a model should look like, because the goal was clear. And this time I really wanted to make it happen and compensate, because everybody was kind of, making me feel as if I'm not good enough. 8 months, worked really hard, cut to day of audition. And guess what? I failed. I was not even able to clear the very first round of audition, just forget about winning. So now imagine for someone who has just gathered her or himself from the ashes of their dreams, wanting to make a change and still feeling or failing every time. The feeling was more than devastating, I would say. There were a lot of questions that were going on in my mind. Am I good enough? Am I worthy? Do I really have what it takes to achieve? Why everybody is able to do what they want to, and here I am still failing at everything. Seeing my friends doing good there in their life, getting their dream colleges and just enjoying their life, and here I was facing one failure after the other. It just made no sense. And I would not lie, but I was clinically depressed as well. I started talking to people. I went out, I got counseled, career counseling, doctors, And that's the exact time when I realized that I was medically depressed. But in this phase where I was trying to recover from the failures that I had, I realized one very important thing, and that was the answers to the questions that I was looking for was when they were not in the outside world, they were actually inside me. And I was the one who had to find the answers. And in those entire 4 to 5 months of recovering, where I was trying to find the questions to the answers and the self-doubt, self-hatred, disappointment, and everything that was going on, I learned two very important things, which I really want to share with everybody today. So the first one is, don't judge a fish by its ability to climb. And I know we have heard it, there's nothing new or magical that I'm telling you, and it's very cliche, and we know all of this. But there is a much bigger meaning towards this entire statement that exists. Allow me to tell all the young, brilliant minds here that all of you are worthy. Your worth is not defined by a mathematical number on your mark sheet. By that, I don't intend to say do not be serious at your studies. Please be. That's very important. It's very, very important to get your education first. But don't limit the entire idea of success just to a numerical number on your mark sheet. It's time for us to pause and really define as to what success actually can be, even for the students who are in school. Coming back to my story, if I would have allowed that examination failure, which now is not very significant, at that point of time, it was the end of my world. If I would have allowed that failure to affect me, maybe I would have never gone out and created world's first scientific solution to stress. Or maybe would have gone out and built Asia's first platform for esports and e-gaming. Second lesson, know your why, WHY. Guys, allow me to tell you this, that something which is as certain as day and night is that we all are born for a purpose. And when I say we all, I don't intend to talk just about the successful people that we read about, but I'm actually talking about each one of us who's speaking, who's listening, everybody. It is as certain as day and night. We all have a special purpose to fulfill in our lives. We are not just meant to be born, live the life the way it has been told, and just go away from here. There's a deeper meaning to it. And once I realized my why, I actually got the answers for all the questions that I was looking for. And my why was to be able to impact lives and create change. And my method of doing it is through entrepreneurship and the social activities or the projects that I do in. Once you realize your why, you will never be the same again. And don't assume that once I know it, my life is going to be like a fairy tale and everything good is going to happen. No, you'll fail a lot of times. But this time, every question would have an answer and every failure would make sense. Once I've realized my why, there's been no turning back, at least for me, from being awarded as Young Achiever 2019 to be awarded as Asia's most innovative women entrepreneurs, to be, as simple as being able to give 4 TED Talks today by the age of 23. It seems magical, right? And allow me to tell you this, that magic doesn't happen to us any day. We have to go out and create it. So before I end this talk, I really want to tell all the young minds, brilliant minds with big dreams in their eyes, that please start taking the responsibility of your own life. Don't just do it because this is what is being done. Don't just accept things the way they are. Start questioning them. Know as to what is it that I want to do. Be the driver and take charge of the driving seat, and don't just accept the things the way they are. And yes, that's what I really wanted to share. I'm really happy to be sharing my journey here. And this is the message that I had for everyone out here. Namaste.